Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Arrington coming to you from Austin, Texas. Today we're going to be talking about playing over minor 7 chords and using 3 different pentatonic scales. So we're going to use this in the key of D minor. Here's the chord that we're going to use. It's a D minor 7. If you don't know it, it's over on the 5th fret of the 5th string. We're just going to bar all the way across, and I'll call out the frets as we're on each string as we're going down. So we got 5th fret, 5th string, 7th fret, 4th string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 6th fret, 2nd string, 5th fret, 1st string. Alright? Now the first pattern we're going to use is a minor pentatonic up here at D, which is the same root of the chord. You all probably know this scale already, but I'll talk about it anyways. So we got 2 notes on each string. I'm just going to call out what they are just by the frets. So we got 10, 13, then we go to the next string, 10, 12, then next string, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13. So I've got a little loop that we can play behind just to give us some context, but let's just see what those 2 things sound like together. Okay, so you've heard a lot of guitar solos that use that sound. It's probably 90% of what's out there. So I'm going to just give you a couple different places that you can use that scale that can let you grab a couple other colors over that chord, which can be nice. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump down to A. We're going to jump down to A minor pentatonic, which is the 5th of D. So if we play a little D minor scale, 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, 5, that's an A. There's an A. So we're going to use this pattern. It's the same shape that we just played, we're just doing it at a different spot. Okay, so let's check out what this sounds like. So we've got one note that wasn't in the other scale, and you might have been able to hear it. It was this one, which is an E. It happens to be the 9 of the chord, which is a pretty nice. It's a nice tone to have in there. It's very pretty. So I'm going to kind of A-B the D minor pentatonic and the A minor pentatonic, and I'll try and keep the same kind of phrasing, same ideas, just so you can hear the color contrast. Here we go. Start with D minor, A minor, D, So this gives us just kind of 2 little perspectives to bounce back and forth in. They're very similar, but there's a slightly different color, and it can be nice. So one that's going to stretch a little bit harder is so we had D here is kind of where we started from. That was probably the most inside. A is starting to stretch just a little bit, and the one that's going to be kind of in the stratosphere is going to be E. Okay, so this one's pretty easy to remember. Just whatever key you happen to be, or wherever your minor pentatonic is, as long as it's matching the root, you just go up 2 frets, and it's right there. So this one is only going to have 2 notes that are in the chord, and there are 2 notes that don't have a ton of character, and the rest of them are all kind of just, you know, floating around. So you'll definitely hear it. It's a more uncomfortable sound at first, but let's check this one out. Oh, but here's the pattern. Once again, same shape, just different fret. Here we go. Alright, so that can sound kind of odd the first time you hear it. Let me A-B it back and forth with the D minor and the E, just so you can kind of get a feel how they work together. So there's still, there's quite a lot hanging out in there. So now let's try, I'm going to flip back and forth between D minor, A, and E. So we got all three colors and we're going to try and use them all together. I'll try and keep the phrasing consistent just so you can hear how the different shapes are functioning. So here we go. So just to recap before we call it a day, we're playing over a D minor 7 chord, and we found that we could use 3 different minor pentatonic scales. We used D minor pentatonic, which was the 1, A minor pentatonic, which was the 5, and E minor pentatonic, which was the 2. So if you wanted to boil this all down to one sentence, you could say that whenever you have a minor 7 chord that's not going anywhere, that's just standing right there, you can use a minor pentatonic off the 1, the 5, and the 2. Which means if you were in a different key, say like A minor, so we're playing over A minor 7 here, that means you could use A minor pentatonic, which would be the 1, E minor pentatonic, which would be the 5, which I go 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, 5, or just make a power chord. Okay, so that'd be E minor pentatonic, or B minor pentatonic, which is 2 frets up from A, which would be the 2. So I've found this stuff to be pretty useful over the years, so I hope it helps you. Check out the website, carterarrington.com, and say hey on Facebook, and I'll see you all next week for another one. Take care.